how we can actually draw a mouth? If we start from this point to this point, that is at the bottom of the circle, we can start the mouth from this point, that is the point vertical to the eye, and the end point can be vertical to the second eye, and we can then specify some control point which is in between, right? So let me specify here, return, let the first point be, say, the center of the first eye, that is 100, 120. So I can specify M 100, 120. Then what we need? We actually need to specify S and a point in between. So the first one is 100 and the last point's x coordinate is 200, means we can have the curve at 150. Okay, and then we need to make the y of this curve from the top to bottom. That is, for the sad face, the y value will be at the top and it should move slowly to the bottom to have the smiley face, right? So we can change the y value using this L. So how we need to specify it? We can specify here, we need to concatenate with the string. So let me specify L into, say, 150, then plus 150, which means the point will be, the maximum value will be 300, right? This is 150 and it will be maximum 300 and it will start from 150. So for sad face, it will start from 150, 150, and when the animation is over, it will be 150, 300. That is 150 plus 150 is the maximum value is 300. And then we need to specify the end point, right? So let me put a space, and as the end point, we need this value, that is 200, 120. Hope you understand what I am trying to say. I will explain it once again. Let me return this and let's see whether we are getting the output or not. Let me save this. Okay, I have specified the starting. Let me refresh it once again. Actually, it has started from here. I forgot to change the value of y. I have specified the same cy as well. Actually, we need to have the same cx, but cy should be some value towards the bottom, right? So let me make this 200 and also this y 200, and let me save this and show you. See, now it is becoming a smiley. Let me refresh. See, it is becoming a smiley. Now suppose instead of 150, 150, if I specify 125, 125, then what will happen? The starting will be 150, 125 and the end will be, if this is how we set the value, it will be 150, 275, because here the maximum value will be 275. Let's check that as well. Let me refresh. See, now the maximum is 275. Previously it was 300 and now the maximum is 275, that is 125 plus 150. If you want to see how the value changes, let me go to Developer Tools and click this. So if you just see the value of this 275, you could find the change, because 100, 200, 150, 200 and 200 are constant values, but this value is getting changed as we do the tweening. Let me refresh and show you. See, this value has started from 150 and it is reaching maximum of 275, as you could see here. So the minimum value is 150 and the maximum will be 150 plus 125, which is 275. So what we have done here, we have actually used the tweening technique to change the shape of our curve, and we used the smooth curve option. That is why we have specified S, and the starting point of our path element is 100, 200 and the end point is 200, 200. That is, here this is 100, 200 and this is 200, 200, right? But we want to have this control point change from here to here. So the value of x is not changing, we are only changing the value of y. So for x, we have specified a constant value, which is the center of 100 and 200. This is a bit complicated to understand as it includes a lot of numbers, because 100, 200 is the initial point or the starting point, and 200, 200 is the ending point, means the value of x of the starting point is 100 and the value of x for the end point is 200. So if you want to make it a perfect curve, then the center point should be taken, which is 150, right? Then we need to move the curve from top to bottom. That is, the control point is to be moved from top to bottom. So we need to move it from 150 to 275. That is why we have specified L, which is the value here, into 125 plus 150. Now suppose I change this from 150 to 50. What will happen? The sad curve's y value will be 50 and then the maximum will be only 175. So it will not look like a smiley, right? Because the straight line will be 150, 200. So if you want to have a straight line, the value of control point should be 150, 200. So if we want to make it as a smiley, the value of y should be obviously more than 200. Or else, suppose I just write here, starting point 100, 200. Okay. Then control point 150, 200. And end point 200, 200. Then how will the shape be appearing? It will be a straight line from 100, 200 to 150, 200, from there to 200, 200. So if we want to make this a curve, then the value of this should be greater than 200. But here what happens? The maximum is 50 plus 125, which is 175, and the minimum is 50. So it will not look like a smiley face. Let me cut it from here. Let me save this and show you. Let me refresh. See, it is starting from here as the minimum is 50, right? And it is moving only up to 175. See, this is the maximum 175. So it is not looking like a smiley face. So we need to control this value as how we need to display our curve. So let me specify 150 and here 150, and let me save this. Let me refresh. See, this is the sad face and it is moving to become a smiley face. So here I don't think it needs to be 150 because the curve is now too deeper, right? So let me reduce this to say 125. So the maximum will be 275 only. Let me save this and check. Let me refresh. See, sad face is changing to become a smiley face. This is okay, I guess. If you want to have deeper, then you can increase the value. If you don't want to have such a deep smile, then you can reduce the value, right? Let me try with 125 and 125. So the maximum will be 250 and the minimum will be 125. Let me save this and check. Let me refresh. See? The smile is not that deep now. So if you see here, you could find that the value starts from 125 and it is increasing up to 250. Okay. So this is how we have done tweening to have a make me laugh animation, and here we have used a smooth curve method to draw a curve. If you specify C here, in that case you will have to specify 2 control points. So to avoid complexity, I have specified S here, and M is the move to command where we have specified the starting point, and using S I have specified the value of X, which will not change even if it moves from here to here, because it moves along a vertical line, because here the control point is changing only its Y value. So we have used L into 125 plus 125, where 125 will be the minimum and 125 plus 125, 250 will be the maximum, and this is the end point. So we want to have a shape where the starting point and ending point are horizontally aligned. So that is why we have specified 100, 200 and 200, 200. Suppose I specify 250 here, then the shape will be different. Let me show you that. Let me refresh. See, it is not looking good, right? It is not looking like a smiley or sad face. So we need to have a horizontal position. That is why the value of y is the same and the value of x only increases. And this is the value of the control point, and the value of x is fixed and the value of y is getting changed. And we have set this as the value of d here. And here, as you could see, we haven't specified any initial value, but making use of the tweening option, that is ATTR tween method, we have created a make me laugh animation which changes the sad face to a smiley face. Now, if you want this to happen repeatedly, you can enclose this code inside a function and later call that function repeatedly using set interval method. I haven't done it here. You can do it if you want.